The invisible habit that kills your confidence asterisk. It was just another Monday morning when Alex woke up feeling empty. He looked at himself in the mirror and noticed the familiar tension in his shoulders, the slight frown he wore almost unconsciously. Every morning felt the same, an internal dialogue that never ended. You're not good enough. You'll mess this up. Look at everyone else, they're doing better. Alex wasn't aware of it yet, but this daily ritual of self-criticism was the invisible habit that was silently killing his confidence. At work, he would hesitate before speaking in meetings, worried that any word he uttered might sound foolish. At home, he avoided reaching out to friends for fear of judgment. Even small decisions felt paralyzing because deep down, he believed he wasn't capable. It wasn't a sudden catastrophe that made him realize this habit existed. No, it crept in silently over the years. As a teenager, he was never the loudest in class, but he was ambitious. Then college happened. Comparisons became constant. Social media didn't help. Every scroll reminded him of people achieving milestones he hadn't yet reached. Each like and post seemed like a subtle accusation. You're behind. You're not enough. Even though Alex tried to motivate himself with books, podcasts, and seminars, the self-talk kept looping. He'd read a success story and think, yeah, but that's them. Not me. He'd watch someone speak confidently and think, if only I were brave enough. Deep down, this invisible habit, negative self-talk, paired with constant comparison, was rewiring his brain to expect failure. The first noticeable damage appeared in his work. Alex loved creative writing, but whenever his manager asked for ideas, he'd freeze. He feared criticism, feared rejection, feared being wrong. Every day, opportunities passed by quietly. Colleagues praised others, while Alex stayed in the background. And the worst part? He didn't even realize that this habit was the root cause of his hesitation. Even in relationships, the pattern persisted. He would often apologize unnecessarily, feel anxious before texts or calls, and hesitate to express his true feelings. Over time, friends noticed that Alex was slowly retreating into a shell of doubt, unsure about his worth. But deep inside, Alex knew he had potential. Something inside screamed, "You can do more." Yet the invisible habit, this constant mental undermining, kept him trapped. It's like a shadow in the background, whispering doubts at every step. In the next part, we'll see how this habit began affecting not just his confidence, but his relationships, career decisions, and overall happiness, leading to a pivotal moment that would force Alex to confront the truth. Alex had always thought that his lack of confidence was just who he was. But over time, it became painfully clear that something deeper was at play. The invisible habit, negative self-talk, and constant comparison was shaping every single decision he made, often without him noticing. At work, small mistakes became catastrophes in his mind. Sending a simple email, anxiety. Asking a question in a meeting, terrifying. Each thought was automatically followed by a critique. You're not smart enough. They'll judge you. You'll fail. He began to avoid responsibilities, even ones he was perfectly capable of handling. It wasn't just work that suffered. At home, Alex's habit created tension in his relationships. He second-guessed every conversation with friends constantly, worrying that he wasn't interesting enough, funny enough, or likable enough. Invitations were declined because he feared embarrassment. Even when he tried to socialize, he felt a subtle resistance, a voice whispering, "Don't bother. You'll just mess it up." Psychologists refer to this as self-sabotage through negative cognitive patterns, and it's more common than people realize. This invisible habit rewires your brain to focus on failures and risks rather than opportunities and achievements. Each instance of doubt strengthens the neural pathways of insecurity, making it harder to break free. Alex's mind, unknowingly, was becoming its own worst enemy. Social media intensified the habit. Every scroll reminded him of people achieving more, looking happier, and living seemingly perfect lives. Comparisons piled up silently. The habit didn't shout, it whispered, "You're behind. You're not enough. You'll never measure up." And with every whisper, Alex's confidence eroded. Even small moments at work were affected. Brainstorming sessions that used to excite him now brought a tight knot of anxiety in his stomach. Creative ideas? Immediately discarded internally. Not good enough. Someone else's idea is better. Over time, Alex's colleagues noticed his hesitation, his reluctance to contribute. Yet no one knew the root cause. He appeared shy or indifferent, but internally, he was constantly battling his own mind. The invisible habit also affected his health. Stress from constant self-criticism led to restless nights, headaches, and lack of focus. Alex didn't exercise regularly because he felt unmotivated. Even small tasks felt like monumental efforts. Every aspect of life, mental, physical, emotional, was subtly being undermined by this one persistent habit. What made it even more dangerous was its invisibility. Alex couldn't see the habit as a habit. It felt natural, almost inevitable. He assumed he was just nervous or naturally quiet or unlucky. He didn't realize that the habit was learned behavior, built over years of internalized criticism and societal comparison. But cracks started appearing. Missed opportunities. At work, strained relationships and moments of regret forced Alex to reflect. He began noticing a pattern. Why do I always stop myself? Why do I feel inadequate when there's no real reason? Awareness was the first step toward understanding the invisible habit. In the next part, we'll see a specific turning point. An incident that shakes Alex to his core, forcing him to confront this habit directly and start the journey to reclaim his confidence. It was a Wednesday morning when Alex's invisible habit truly revealed its power. The company was launching a new project, something Alex had been excited about for weeks. But excitement quickly turned into dread. The moment he walked into the conference room, a familiar tightness in his chest returned. He remembered the tiny voice in his head whispering, "You can't handle this. Don't even try." As the meeting began, his colleagues shared bold ideas and confident suggestions. Alex had a concept he believed could revolutionize part of the project, but the habit kept him silent. "They'll think it's silly, they'll laugh. You'll embarrass yourself." His hands clenched in his lap. The words never formed. Instead, he watched someone else present a watered-down version of his idea, and it was praised immediately. That evening, Alex went home frustrated and disappointed. He replayed the day in his mind. Every hesitation, every self-doubt, every missed opportunity. A sinking feeling settled in him. "Why do I always hold myself back?" he thought. "I know what I'm capable of, but I can't seem to act." This was the moment, the pivotal turning point. Alex realized that it wasn't external factors holding him back. It was himself. The invisible habit had been orchestrating his failures silently, yet effectively, for years. Each time he doubted his ability, the habit reinforced itself. Each time he avoided taking action, the habit grew stronger. Alex began to notice how this habit influenced smaller daily decisions as well. Declining a call from a friend, avoiding opportunities to socialize, skipping important tasks, hesitating to express opinions in meetings. The pattern was undeniable. The invisible habit wasn't just affecting his confidence. It was affecting his life trajectory. That night, Alex did something he hadn't done in years. He reflected deeply. He wrote down instances where he held himself back, moments when self-doubt dictated his actions and the consequences. Seeing the patterns on paper was eye-opening. He noticed how many opportunities he had lost, how many relationships he had strained, and how much potential had gone untapped. Psychologists often call this habitual self-sabotage. It is a behavior reinforced over time, invisible yet powerful. Awareness is the first critical step in breaking free. Alex realized that confronting the habit meant acknowledging its existence, something he had been avoiding for years because Ironically, the habit itself discouraged self-reflection. The turning point didn't stop at awareness. Alex decided to take small, actionable steps the very next day. He promised himself he would speak up in the next team meeting, even if it felt uncomfortable. He began to replace negative thoughts with neutral or positive alternatives. I can try. I can contribute. My ideas have value. These small, deliberate efforts were the start of dismantling the habit. This moment also sparked a desire for deeper understanding. Alex started researching the psychology behind self-doubt and invisible habits. He learned about cognitive distortions, the way negative thought patterns shape reality, and how to retrain the brain through consistent practice. He realized that while the habit had been invisible, it could be reversed with conscious effort. The evening ended with a mix of fear and hope. Fear of failure was still there, but so was determination. Alex understood something crucial. The invisible habit could no longer control him unless he allowed it. The path ahead wouldn't be easy, but awareness and intentional action were the first steps toward reclaiming his confidence. In the next part, we'll explore how Alex applies psychological principles to fight the habit, and the practical strategies he uses to start building real confidence for the first time in years. The day after the turning point, Alex felt a strange mix of fear and determination. He knew he couldn't continue living under the silent control of the invisible habit. But awareness alone wasn't enough. He needed to understand why his mind had been sabotaging him. The psychology behind it. Alex began reading articles and watching videos about self-doubt, cognitive biases, and negative thought patterns. He discovered that the habit wasn't random. It was a product of years of conditioned thinking, shaped by childhood experiences, societal pressure, and constant comparison with others. The brain, he learned, tends to protect us by avoiding perceived threats, even if the threat is imagined. In Alex's case, self-doubt acted like a shield, preventing failure. But ironically, it also prevented growth. He learned about automatic negative thoughts, those instant reactions, like, I can't do this, or I'm not good. Enough. These thoughts had become so ingrained that his mind ran them on autopilot. And each time he acted on them by withdrawing or avoiding opportunities, the brain reinforced the pattern. The habit became invisible precisely because it operated beneath his conscious awareness. Understanding the root made Alex realize he could fight it strategically. Psychologists suggest replacing negative self-talk with constructive alternatives. For example, instead of thinking, I will fail if I speak up, he could consciously tell himself, I have valuable input and I can contribute meaningfully. This simple shift, repeated consistently, rewires the brain over time. Alex decided to implement 3 key strategies immediately. Awareness tracking. He began noting every moment of self-doubt in a journal. Writing it down made the habit visible, breaking its invisibility. Thought replacement. For every negative thought, he consciously replaced it with a neutral or positive alternative. Small action steps. He committed to taking one small courageous action every day, raising a hand in a meeting, expressing an opinion, or making a decision he would normally avoid. The first few days were hard. The old habit tried to resist. His mind would whisper, it's too risky. Don't bother. But Alex remembered the research he had read. Habits can be unlearned, but it requires persistent conscious effort. Every time he acted despite fear, he gained a small victory. Alex also explored the importance of self-compassion. He realized that berating himself for years of hesitation only strengthened the habit. Instead, he learned to acknowledge mistakes and move forward, understanding that confidence grows through practice, not perfection. To make the process practical, Alex visualized success. Before every action, he imagined a positive outcome. The mind, it turns out, often cannot distinguish between imagined and real experiences. These mental rehearsals helped him feel prepared and reduced anxiety. By the end of this phase, Alex noticed a subtle but important change. Moments of hesitation were shorter. He could catch negative thoughts quicker and act before they paralyzed him. Confidence wasn't fully restored yet, but he had regained control over his mind for the first time in years. The next part will show how Alex fully applies these strategies in real-life scenarios, transforming his confidence, relationships, and overall life trajectory. It will also demonstrate how the invisible habit can be completely neutralized if approached correctly. By the time Alex reached this final stage, he had already become aware of the invisible habit, understood its psychology, and started applying small strategies. But awareness and small steps alone were not enough. He needed a structured action plan to ensure that the habit was permanently weakened and his confidence fully rebuilt. Step 1. Identify your triggers. Alex began keeping a daily log of moments where self-doubt crept in. He noted situations, times of day, and emotional states that triggered negative thoughts. The insight was striking. Most triggers were predictable. Meetings, social interactions, or even scrolling through social media were consistent sources. By identifying triggers, Alex could anticipate the habit and consciously choose to act differently. Step 2. Replace negative thoughts with positive or neutral ones. Whenever the invisible habit whispered, "You can't do this," Alex replaced it with a constructive thought like, "I can try, I can learn, I can improve." This wasn't about forced optimism. It was about neutralizing the self-sabotage. He realized that even small wins against negative self-talk gradually built mental resilience. Step 3. Take consistent action. Alex committed to at least one small courageous act every day. Some days it was speaking up in a meeting, other days it was reaching out to a friend he had avoided, or starting a task he had procrastinated on. These micro-actions reinforced confidence, proving to himself repeatedly that his fears were not reality. Step 4. Self-compassion and reflection. Whenever Alex slipped into old patterns, he didn't berate himself. Instead, he reflected, what triggered the habit? What can I do differently next time? This reflective approach strengthened his emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Step 5. Visualization and mental rehearsal. Before challenging situations, Alex visualized success. Imagining positive outcomes prepared him mentally and reduced anxiety. He also combined visualization with deep breathing and calm focus to reinforce confidence. Real-life transformation weeks went by, and the results were visible. At work, Alex began sharing ideas confidently. Meetings that once caused dread became opportunities to demonstrate creativity and insight. Colleagues noticed a new energy and assertiveness. In social life, he started reconnecting with friends, initiating conversations, and expressing his feelings more openly. The invisible habit no longer dictated his actions. Even when moments of doubt arose, he could counteract them with the strategies he had practiced. Most importantly, Alex felt free inside. The invisible habit that had silently controlled him for years was no longer in charge. Confidence wasn't about arrogance. It was about calm, assured self-belief. Alex had learned a critical lesson. The invisible habit thrives in secrecy, but once identified and confronted, it loses its power. Final life lesson: awareness is the first step. You can't fight what you don't see. Negative self-talk is a habit, not a truth. Treat it like any other habit. You can change it. Small daily actions create long-term transformation. Confidence grows incrementally. Self-compassion accelerates growth. Be kind to yourself during setbacks. Consistency is key. The invisible habit can be overcome, but only with persistent effort. Alex's journey teaches us that confidence is built, not given. The invisible habit may silently sabotage your potential, but with awareness, strategy, and consistent action, anyone can reclaim their life and achieve their true potential.